to get some experience, which is well, well deserved on PA. She looks like she's going for Battle Fury, which is I like this essentially. I mean, some people will hate on the Battle Fury, but the Battle Fury essentially means that you can take it late because you can actually farm rather than just being forced to fight as every single fight, which she still is fighting, but that's for catch-up mechanics. And it looks like OD is just, employing a little bit of split push here. He's really good against creep waves, not so much against towers, unfortunately.
I noticed that Broodmother's got a bit of a different attacks than when I last played her.
What do you mean?
When she was attacking, I think it was the Night Stalker last time, she used some sort of web thing that like actually spun him into a web, and that was a different animation from what I remember it being.
Do you mean she spun a web around him so that he could be invisible? So she could be invisible. Oh, okay, we've got a Juggernaut ult up here. Unfortunately not going to pick off anyone with the ult itself, but we'll get the Viper with the spin. Yeah. Oh, nice Hex from Lion there, just essentially realizing that the timing is instant. However, Lion will pay for with his life. They've got to kill the ward or else Juggernaut's not going to die, and yeah, Viper just being a little bit greedy there. And that's quite a big change, essentially. Just 3 heroes dead, essentially, on the side of Sandsalt. Now, they've essentially got to stem this bleeding again. They're essentially throwing themselves into fights they shouldn't be. However, Broodmother's doing really quite well. As far as kills, deaths, and assists go, it's probably OD's definitely sitting up there with the carry, but everyone's doing their part. Juggernaut's not really been involved in too many fights. He's got a couple of assists, but he's been farming. Now, we've got the Sand King, who's just sitting at the top here being like, oh, I'm ready to roll, guys, I've got my Veil of Discord, I can do some decent damage going on. And side of Sandstorm, Sandsalt, unfortunately, there's a bit too much death, essentially, in the Viper, Lion, and PA to make up for the kills that they have. So they're just going to have to watch, essentially, their positioning a little bit, probably try and take better fights, maybe with the Sand King ult and the Broodmother or something. However, the PA does have a Battle Fury now, which is not too late actually. It's about 20 minutes, which is pretty good. So she's going to go around and farm, try and get up a couple of items, and then hopefully just jump around and get some kills. Oh, okay. Now this is a bit interesting. All right, so this is where you got to be really careful. Yeah, that is pretty much a dead Jakiro, unless the Spiderlings all get killed by the spin of Juggernaut. So you got to be a bit careful around that. She could have possibly killed him if she'd committed. However, that would have left it wide open for a Juggernaut just to pile drive her, essentially, just take her out. I just cannot seem to select the bloody heroes. So I seem to have a weird bug where I just can't actually select the heroes, unfortunately, Jess. Unless you have Broodmother permanent. Do you have Broodmother selected the whole time?
Yeah.
Okay, can you press escape and not select Broodmother?
Try that.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so please, yeah, so when you selected a hero,
Is that because I had a character selected?
yeah, and it would always go back to yours default. Okay, that's a bit interesting. I guess I'll just be the main viewer from now on. Oh, that explains that. Alright, so with Lion and PA just farming at the top of the jungle there, and they've got Viper just farming a little bit up here. The unfortunate thing is, so Viper is essentially going to go for a mech. He's a little bit late on his mech. You really want to get your mech around 15 minutes, probably before that even. The earlier the better, essentially. Once you get past 25 minutes, mech is, well, it's useful in a very limited sense. Sand King just having a little bit of a doo-doo-doo here, just popping a Sandstorm, Devrud style, etc. Broodmother, once again, just being annoying, creating space for the PA. This is a really good pick now, because the Broodmother essentially is creating just, well, here, it's essentially bringing the Jakiro, forcing the Jakiro and the Clockwork to be down here, rather than hunting down the PA. And we've got a bit of a gank going on in the mid here, so it's, that's just a dead Viper. Odie just kind of wanting to secure the kill with his ultimate. Not really necessary, but I guess just for he likes seeing a bit of a light show, so. PA getting a bit of farm, and PA going to go for the Yasha, probably going to go for Sanj and Yasha into Manta style, or, Sanj and Yasha, or possibly a Manta style. Now Manta style actually has this benefit because your illusions will crit, so you can actually have a decent amount of damage coming out from your illusions rather than just, hitting like paper. And Night Stalker just run. Jess, can you deselect OD?
I have nothing selected.
Okay, don't worry about it. So Broodmother's sitting around here. Unfortunately, no webs for her to spin. And she'll just have to get back on her webs and start causing pain, forcing everyone to come back down. So we need to keep these items up, unfortunately. And it's a Juggernaut just going for Yasha and Battle Fury, standard fun items. Now, as far as it goes, PA versus a Juggernaut, late game carry, if Juggernaut gets a Monkey King bar, he can fight up against the PA, but until he does get a Monkey King bar, he has to rely on his ultimate, which, you know, can be quite easily disjointed, and if you know how to do it, you know, just a blink away and that's it. So, as long as the PA keeps an item ahead of the Juggernaut, or on equal terms with the Juggernaut generally won't be able to outcarry her there, but it's not the Juggernaut that they have to really worry about, it's the OD. The OD itself, once he gets a BKB and gets maybe a... Oh, well that's a dead OD, so that's going to probably... Oh, what a love! That is quite a clutch Aspen Imprison there, forcing him to waste the ultimate, but not really wasted, it's just a kill secured essentially. It's got a cooldown for a reason. So, nice little just gank there on the OD. Once the OD gets a BKB and a what looks like, yeah, so he's going for a BKB. Once he gets a BKB and a Moonshard, he'll essentially be able to blink into fights and just start whacking heroes. And I do mean whacking heroes, because he'll just steal their mana and he'll do more damage. The only problem is he will miss the PA quite often because he won't have a Monkey King bar just yet.
But it's a very intense animation for OD's ult.
OD's ult, yeah, the big flashing lights. It's quite cool, alright? See, the thing is, I think if he had saved his ult, no, I don't think he would have been able to save himself there. He was basically dead. just a little
nice
bit of banter
going on.
And this is basically just, you know, a little bit of fun talk going on between each teams. Most of these teams are actually friends; they know each other, so there's nothing ever serious meant by it. But usually they just have a little bit of a talk, you know, sort of just to keep the friendly competition going. And it looks like possibly, yeah, Broodmother's going to go for this kill. Well, she should go for this kill, because the Clockwork is TPing out. But that could just be a bait. Ah, okay, so there's a TP going top. And who are they going for? Yeah, it looks like they're going for the PA, unfortunately, and PA is just going to die. You can't unfortunately fight that. So the PA decided to go on the Night Stalker, and unfortunately the Night Stalker was just like, yeah, I'm a little bit too tanky for you to kill him straight away, and I'll get some support in, and that'll be that. Ooh, now this is dangerous. Ooh, okay, so essentially Sand King just playing with fire there against the Juggernaut ult and the OD, just coming in and wrecking you. Now Viper just not being in a really good position here. Viper is dead. There's no way Viper's not dead here. Unless Lion gets a clutch stun and they do not execute him properly. Okay, unfortunately Broodmother not going to get a quick, easy pick off there. Sand King just going to be distracted in for a little bit. Although this should be it. Oh, nice save there by Lion. This is one of the reasons why Lion is still picked quite often. Is because he can prevent a hero from becoming effective. So we've got a Manta style up on the Juggernaut, and PA unfortunately not really improved her items much more. Oh, and there's the Sand King ult. Unfortunately, Juggernaut spinning off most of that Sand King ult, and Sand King, you know, doing work, getting the OD. That's really the most important hero. You really want to kill that OD. And then PA just coming in for good measure and just being like, hey, here, let me crit you for a little bit. We've got a Necronomicon 3 out on the Broodmother, which is really good. You really want to see that. And so, essentially, Sand Salt definitely coming through and sort of showing, you know, we can definitely do this, guys. The problem is now there's a blade mail popped on it, so PA's just going to wait a little bit and then, you know, kill him so that she doesn't actually accidentally kill herself. So a really good fight there from Sandsalt, basically realizing, hey, we've got our ults, they're in a bad position, let's do this. And here we go with the Roshan. Who do you think's going to get the Aegis? Jess?
Phantom Assassin?
Yeah, it's most likely Phantom Assassin. They could put it on the Viper because the Viper does...
good guess,
yeah. Well, they could put it on the Viper because the Viper does die quite often and Phantom Assassin has evasion. But I think the Phantom Assassin's probably going to get it because she can just blink in and, you know, go super ham on him. And now she's got a double damager in, so just even more reason to go hard. Now there's 3 bottom. If the 5 of them went bottom, they possibly could win this fight. However, they've got to be really careful, and Taylor Swift's in a really bad position here. She could actually just end up throwing the Aegis away here. This was a really bad play by Taylor Swift, just being completely out of position. There's no support around for her, so she's going to blow the Aegis, essentially, and the double damager in. Oh, but that's a lovely juke there. Unfortunately, yeah, you can't 1v5 yet. Once you get a BKB and a Satanic, maybe you can go for 1v5, but that was just bad positioning essentially, and well played on the
That
Dire.
was unfortunate.
Unfortunate. Well played on the Radiant side, recognizing that there's no support around. Now I think that Taylor Swift wanted to fight because he had a double damager in his Aegis, which is good enough reason to fight. However, now they've got to wait, and Sand King's got his ultimate up, Viper, Lion, and Broodmother have all got their ultimate up. But Broodmother's probably going to try and push the bottom tower while they try and push this, which is not a bad trade because she can't actually defend towers well. Her version of defending towers is, I'm going to push your tower instead. And we've got a good Sand King ult coming up here, only really catching the OD, but they just blow the OD right up, which means that you've instantly lost majority of your damage and you no longer have Sanity's Eclipse. Broodmother's also managed to come back into the fray, which is good because now Broodmother's going to come in with a Necro 3s. Oh, unfortunately, Clockwork's going to stun the Broodmother by going right through her. Broodmother is definitely going to force everyone back, and they're going to save their own tower, and possibly they're going to lose the bottom tower. No, they just got a bit of damage on the tier 2. So they only lose Viper for an OD. That's definitely a worthy trade. Viper is probably worth a bit less now than the OD. The OD is much more valuable to the Radiant side than the Viper is to the Dire side. The Viper essentially, the Dire side essentially want the Viper to be in the fights and maybe die once or twice, whereas on the Radiant side they want the OD to live as long as possible. Okay, so we've got a couple of pings noting out that the Clockwork is just sitting there, and PA is just walking around, pretending not to see him. However, Lion goes in. Nice little Lion stun there. And I don't think they're going to go in on him. They don't want to, because, they just see the OD come in, and OD's just like, get away. Run. And so Clockwork going to land a nice hook, and unfortunately there's no one around for PA to TP to, but she does just kill the cogs and walk out. That does mean that Lion is going to go down, unfortunately, sacrificing himself for the greater good. PA, please don't go back in there and just waste the Lion sacrifice. Okay, so PA is going to get away. Night Stalker's chasing a bit far, actually. They could have possibly turned that around, but, they don't want to risk it. It's just not worth it. And we've basically got Broodmother just being Broodmother. So she's got a TP just ready to roll. Oh, she's got a TP and Yasha on the courier, and probably going to go for Manta style, I'd say. Manta style is a bit of a push build. So we've got a bit of a fight coming up here. Do you want to take this one, Jess?
God, no. Why would you say that?
Well, cause, come on, show your stuff. Jug just hitting on the tower there. So everyone's just getting into position, essentially, and they really want to kill that ward, or the Juggernaut healing ward. Once they kill the healing ward off, it pretty much means the push is over and they have to kind of reset. Clockwork just scouting out, trying to find a nice opening. Unfortunately, they're forcing all of the heroes back. Now, if Broodmother had gone Boots of Travel, she'd probably be in a better scenario here, because she could quite easily split push. Oh, and that's a nice stun there up on the Juggernaut. He doesn't have Aegis, so he's got to be a bit careful. It looks like he's going for Monkey King Bar as well. It's a good build, definitely a good build against the PA. They're just slowly hitting the racks. Oh, and that's it. That's a dead Juggernaut. Well played on the Lion's part. Getting a Veil. Yeah, that's essentially the power of the Lion and the Veil. You pop a Veil and that's it. And oh, yes, okay. And so now they're just falling over, essentially. Sandsalt just waiting for that little bit of an initiation. Juggernaut overextending. And it was just really well played by them. Gregor coming in with a nice initiation, just saying, okay, I veiled him, stun, Lion ulti, a couple bit more magic, and then PA coming in for good measure. So,
got Broodmother probably pushing mid.
Broodmother pushing mid, that's probably just because they're still tier 1 up, and, they just don't like tier 1s being up. Tier 1s, you want to get rid of your tier 1s. The longer your tier 1s are up for, the better against the enemy. Oh, okay, no, there's a BKB, and unfortunately Lion blinked straight into that, so that's a dead Lion. However, they do sacrifice a tier 1 for it, which is not the greatest trait, unfortunately. There goes the Viper as well, and this is not really good play. They're unfortunately trapped. And Sand King coming in with a saving grace. Broodmother really needs to get out, otherwise Sand King's save was in vain, and Sand King just sacrificing himself now for his Broodmother. Broodmother, don't you die, and oh, Broodmother's gone in. What a waste. On the flip side, unfortunately, the PA is definitely farming, so PA is not dead. But there's a bit of a misplay on their part. Lion